Big up all football lovers and sports fans. Welcome to another edition of the Dean's Breakdown. In this episode, we're breaking down the Jamaica versus New Caledonia game. Though successful, we have a ton of questions to ask, and we'll try to find the relevant answers in order to satisfy our mindset. We have to first divorce ourselves from the emotional ties that we have to the task at hand in trying to qualify for the World Cup in order to get a true, honest perspective of how we're going to break down this game. We have to play the game that is presented to us with the scheduled team and situation that we are find ourselves in and the team that we are playing against. And there's a game within the game. And we are going to try and break down that aspect of this game between Jamaica and New Caledonia. Question number one, did the team achieve its ultimate goal? And that's a resounding yes, because we were able to win the game on Thursday. Two, was our performance dominant against our opponent? To be questioned, depending on the angle in which we take it. Three, what did your eyes told you from watching the game live or after breaking down? Because the highlights that you see are not true reflection of the game in itself. What was the bright spot or positives that we can take from this game and going forward into the DR Congo game? What are the areas that are most concerning or lacking offensively or defensively in this game? And why? Did our new additions change the tone of the team from its previous setup? Did the substitutions in the game make a difference in the game when they were presented? And did the game statistic give us a clear picture of what we saw and what could have potentially been the outcome or what could have been a better outcome in our estimation? Did the team achieve the game ultimate goal and purpose? Absolutely. It's a game that is result oriented. There's no tomorrow, and we passed that test resoundingly. We came away with a win, and that is the most important thing. We always say an ugly win is better than a pretty loss. Because if we had played the way that we all expected or wanted to and lost the game, then the argument would have been different. So we have to be satisfied with the result, not necessarily performance, but we have to be satisfied with the result we got. And thus lead us into our performance. Was our performance dominant? No. But it was, to some degree, reflective of the game that we had and the opponent that we had. Did we play down to the competition? No, I think the competition played up to us. How the game was played, exactly what I had predicted and anticipated. We had more possession. We were more in the opponent's half. However, though the statistic shows we had more possession, where was our possession kept? And that's one of the area that most people, or myself, ask question. Most of our possession was kept. Our passes were made between our center backs, wing backs, and our midfield. That's also where the eye test lies. And that's where all the questions are coming from. The positives that we can take away from the game are, one, the team looked purpose driven. Players didn't look tired, players didn't look disinterested. They seems to have a clear understanding of the mission at hand. And they all played that way. There was no player that you could look at and say, effort is lacking. So that's a positive. Positive also, we were able to get on the score sheet early. That was able to change potentially the tone of the game and put us in a comfortable position to relax and play the game. That's a very important part of the process. Area most concerning and lacking is offensively. We are lacking cohesiveness between the midfielders and the offensive unit, the forward unit. There's no cohesion, and every time the ball gets to that point, there's always a search. Players not understanding each other, players opening up looking for the ball one way, the ball goes the other way, or doesn't come. And defensively, I find that especially our centre back, he finds himself above the, especially the defensive midfielder more often than not. He's vacating his position too quickly, and that can be an area of concern. Also, I recognize the two centre backs are the ones who take our long throw in, which can sometimes leave ourselves vulnerable should there be a counter or lost a possession and a break, a quick break. We're also lacking the creativeness in the midfield. That's a big part of the game, and we've also find ourselves again losing out in all midfield, in most midfield battles, defensively and offensively. They tend to get through our midfield fairly easy, and we tend not able to break down their midfielders and get into the spaces where we could attack their defenders easy or give us some easier chances. The new addition changed the tone, yes. They look like they're a more mobile team, less standing around than the units we had before. So I would say they changed the tone or the dynamic of the team. So it's going to be interesting to see the application and players put forward going into the DR Congo game. The substitution made, especially with Bobby Reed at the half, changed the entire dynamic of the game. We looked actually way more purposeful. We looked like we could get somewhat more chances. We were breaking into space. Sometimes though the ball not come or is not released to the space where it's break. The fact is creating that option and getting behind their midfield, sometimes getting behind their defenders. Also popping up into areas that he could have capitalized on a chance or two, half chance or two that presented itself. But the first thing is he has to get there, and that's a very important part. With Leon Bailey in, he was more pedestrian, maybe the time of the game and the responsibilities that he were given. But the outlook of the game did change. We went with Low in the back. That's kind of equal swap where we were kind of shore up the defensive unit with fresh legs, considering that they at that point in the game they were pressing. The opponent was pressing more, so we don't want to have fresher legs. And with young Ronaldo Webster coming out and the young man going in, Amari Bell going in, uh, that's experience to try and finish the game, which was commendable. It didn't break, so it kept the result intact. And as the stats read, Jamaica, 4 shots on goal, New Caledonia 1. I beg to differ, I think they had 3 shots on goal. It depends on how we classify shots on goal. There was one in the latter part of the game where the guy got into the box and strike, and goalkeeper Blake. Another positive. Safe hands, was able to parry the ball out of bounds. There was one where the player cut to the inside, dribble across the box and had a shot on goal where Blake easily handled. And there was one where we inadvertently lost possession, joking around. I wouldn't say joking around, but miss up on the center half part where the offensive player was able to pick the ball off him and try to chip the goalkeeper from 30, 40 yards out. So those are shots that I'm not gonna count the one where the guy picked his head up in his own half and tried to chip the goalkeeper, which Bobby Reed also had tried doing their goalkeeper because he thought excuse me, he thought the opportunity presented itself. Shots attempt, Jamaica at 12, New Caledonia at 5. Fouls, Jamaica committed 16, New Caledonia 12. Say, I think the game was handled well by the referee. He allowed both teams to play. Questionable call sometimes, yes, for both teams. So we'll take that for what it is. Corner kicks 5 to Jamaica 2. I thought we could have done a much better job at set pieces, especially the ones from crosses, like especially corner kicks. We were still able to capitalize from the set piece that was presented itself in front of the goal, which is also a plus. Saves. Statistics it says Jamaica 1, New Caledonia 3. I am putting in the three that I had mentioned earlier. That Blake, though comfortable save, there were shots on target, which he had to stop. So I'm going to give the New Caledonia team 3 on target and 3 saves by goalkeeper Blake. It will show in the statistics bracket that we almost doubled the passes of the New Caledonia team. But if we take a step back and look at the game in itself, where was most of our passes made? Below the half line in our half, between our centre back and midfielders and outside players. Not much passes made through the middle or combination made through the middle and subsequently leading to a transition through to the strikers. Most of the ball that got to the strikers actually came from the back players trying to switch the point of attack to Tyrese Campbell or trying to switch the point of attack to Mason Clark. We are going to take a look at a few highlights that we should try to maintain and add to, and a few highlights that we should try to clean up or be very mindful of going into the DR Congo game. Though highlights doesn't tell the full story of the game, it's a game summary from different views and different snapshots of the game in itself, and I'll try to best find the ones that speaks to our concerns, speaks to our positives, speak to where we are lacking, speaks to where we can better improve, and how we can best suit it going forward. In the highlights, what I'm trying to find is things that occur frequently or enough times to either give positives or be able to look at as a cause for concern or something that's lacking. So let's take a look at some of the highlights. This play happened early into the game where we found that the ball, there was a breakdown and the players were able to break on us and was able to get across, deliver across in. Okay, this is a pause frame. We'll try to get the play started. Where I believe we have to be very mindful of because this happened quite a few times in the game where they get a break, ball was clipped in, and here we have Ronaldo Webster on the inside. This player came in free, unchallenged. Player free, player attacking the box here, right here. This could have been catastrophic for us in the first half. We have to be very mindful of of that. Ball went out. Now, this what we're looking at is a good sign from a throw-in right here, where we have our throw right here, and we had number in the box trying to pressure the ball. Nice strike from Ronaldo Webster. Again, throw in, had a chance right there. Now, here's one of my concerns, especially if we're going to miscue on the pass right here. I believe this is King advancing beyond the midfield right here. We have the player right here that should be pushing up right here to give support. He looks to be logging back. We have to get together. This is the cohesion that we need, cohesive that we need. Ball gets here. We are a little late. No, good space presentation right here. But no, poor pass. Poor pass missed the target totally, and that could lead to a break. We have to clean up those areas. No one wants to make that mistakes, but it presents itself quite a few times in the game, which is why I'm highlighting it. See that? Oh, this is Aiden. So now he steps up, pass made bad. Look right here. Poor reaction. He has to, right here, he has to transition to defense right away. Pass is already made bad. Um, Young player right here came in and cut it off or stop the play, which gives us another chance to reset. There you go. This should be automatic transition here. Let's say in this case, this play wasn't stopped. Look what we have right here. One player going. So the outside here would be absolutely free and voided because this player is going to pull the player on the inside. And Aiden is trying to recover. Take a look at it again. The play stop. In this sequence, we're gonna see where we try to put some passes together, and we have to do a much better job of hitting our target. Right here, trying to get the ball into space right here. Not a bad idea. Probably he's looking for the pass in this spot, and the ball is played here. This player, the option would have been a better weighted pass to this player right here. Or turn the ball to the outside. One of the things I want us to look at right here. The ball started here or down in this area right here. And look where our left back is. He's too high. He's too high because any breakdown and counter, this space is where left vulnerable. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players ahead of the ball. Not bad for offensive number, but if the ball is on this side, we can't have our player out here and our left-sided player or striker, left-sided winger here, and our wing back is here. He's probably breaking for across our potential should the ball get through a cutback, which is not bad. But right here is a little concerning. Player should be at least in line with the ball. So bad pass made, and they were able to clean it up. Positive, positive right here. Start the play. Mason Clark right here delivers a ball out to King, who had two options right here, and he tried to win for goal when he had a pass inside here. With his first touch that brought him about here, and he tried to open his body to get the ball whipping into the far side that he missed, and our two ingoing player for the cross or the rebound. It went by both of them. Here we have Kadama always looking to lurk inside the box. King opening up his hips and trying to whip the ball into the far side. We have our player here, Brooks, trying to get onto the end of the ball. Here we have right here our defensive midfielder right here looking for, also asking for a cutback. It's a decision. We have to give options, and then the player decides on the option he wants to take. He believed he had a chance to finish. Um, a bit concerning to me, though, gotten the chance, is that as our center back, he seems to be above most of his offensive unit quite often, which can which is potentially an issue if there's no one sitting back for him, or at least anticipating a breakdown, and we'll be able to recover. So there we go, miss chance. Excellent use of the player by Mason. There we go again, another miss pass. Clean miss pass, and we miss our pass, and right here we find out of position. Alright, got it. In position to defend, not out of position, my bad. He's in position to defend this player. Well, who is in position to defend this player? Who is in position to defend this player? This is potentially a quick break for the new Caledonia team, and against better opponent, or more aware opponent will take this chance to attack us right away, because right here it's going to be a 3v. It would have been a 3v2, or since we can't see right here, a 4v2 inside the middle of the pitch. And this is where we were able to win back possession and get the subsequent foul that led to the free kick that created the goal for us. Now, on the approach of the free kicker, Ronaldo, Kalamar Thierry, in his awareness or anticipation, tried to, because they had him in between these players, and this player right here had goal side presence on him, and he tried to slip him right here. Once he slipped him, he was here able to get an advantage on this player and was able to beat him to the ball. And complete a wonderful finish, a true striker's opportunity. So that's positive that we can continue to live with. We had some other chances in the first half, but we're going to take a look at what transpired during the second half of the game. Here again, New Caledonia had a break. Yes, we had numbers back, but position-wise, we are off. Pressure on the ball, play breakdown here, got the ball. Um, Ronaldo Webster is trying to recover. Pinnock is going over. Second defender here, looking at the ball, not paying attention to the runner. And he's paying attention to the ball, not the runner. This runner is free as daylight because he had to pinch it. So again, ball is on this side of the field. We don't need to have our players extending. Bobby Reed right here, tracking back. I think he was offsides, but again, better timing of the run could have changed the entire dynamic of the game. Bad touch. Here's Mason Clark trying to take on this player. Unfortunate, lost his footing. Intention was great. A lot of these runs were available in the second half. And that's a good delivery by Russell. By Campbell, Tyrese Campbell, I believe. Good delivery down the line. Now goalkeeper showing, waiting for a cross here. Here is wide open. Player is just looking at the ball, trying to either get a shot in or get the ball across the face of the goal. Easy collect for the goalkeeper. All right, this was one of the things that we recognize, and it's going to be an important part of the game coming up, where we get the ball to the inside, and the trailer is going to be very, very important to us getting a goal or two. We have Mason Clark here, good. Terry Calamatieri trying to make a run here. He's just pulling or occupying the center back. Good layoff. Could have had a much better execution on the finish. But nonetheless, positive. Here we go again. Same play. And you see where the play is coming from. He's poor. He's very poor at crosses. So we could have taken a few opportunities from crosses. That's one of my disappointments looking at the game. But some of our crosses were off. In the second half, we had much better corners. Swipe, miss. Have someone attacking the post right here. Great dummy. Again, Mason Clark trying to slip the ball in. There's a good number of supporters, 40,000. Again, nice cross. Pinocchio. Bobby Reed again, nice cross again. Terry get up, didn't get the desired result, but at least challenge. Bobby Reed again getting down the line. So that's an important thing. That's where he helped change. And this is just an awareness again, similar to what they did to us in the first half. Bobby Reed trying to catch. Here we go again, which is one of the things I pointed out in the earlier break. They had a quite a few of these, some they turn the ball back because they have inferior speed, or they believe they have inferior speed. They turn the ball back. This one again could have been catastrophic. Though we outnumbered them defensively. We have 6 to their 3 player on the ball. They have a player on the outside here. We have 2 players tracking back. This player wide open. We have to be very, very mindful. If he takes this space right here, it's an easy layback with proper run timing. But he opted to play the ball early. Nice attempt here. Maybe offsides, but intent. Put your body in front the defender, and then you would have to break up, because that would have potentially been a penalty. But again, he tried to go early, he picked it up, saw Mason Clark and tried to slip the ball to him. And here we have Anderson getting in, Bobby Reed here getting in. Missed shot, but again, he has to be there, right? He has to be there. And that's one of the positive with the change in Bobby Reed. You see, we had more offensive effectiveness. Now, what I like with this play and a much better timing for Ronaldo Webster. I want to take it back a little. We'll go back a little too far, but I want to take it back a little. What he recognized, Webster recognized, okay, Mason Clark has possession. My player is behind me. This right here, this entire real estate, right, is available. We could either let Mason Clark go 1v1, or I could quickly get above him, which will now hold this defender. He has to decide if he goes, Mason Clark is going to take the ball. If he stays, I'm free. Excellent recognition. And pass was delivered. Super good timing. Pass was delivered in stride. Now the keeper made an excellent read, realized his defender is beat and came out. Now, could he have made a good inside pass here, which would potentially have this player being offsides, or what he did trying to chip the keeper, which is really just quick thinking. And he tried his best to get a desired result, which he tried to chip the keeper while the keeper made a play on the ball. So that's excellent recognition. And there we have it again. See, clear, try the chip. So again, Bobby Reed again creating a chance. Mason Clark unable to finish. But again, we were creating more offensive option and putting them more on the back heel. And they were unable to put numbers in front of the ball. Positive that we can add and continue, maintain actually, and build up. So we continue looking at the highlights and see we got away with this one. And this is because the New Caledonia team players doesn't believe they have the speed to break away from us. Cause this right here, he has a pass right here. He's looking above here or above here. Touch, he has a pass right here, and this could have cost us. There are potential game-changing mistakes, right? Fortunate for us, it did not cost us. we have our center back right here. He has a pass out here. He has a pass out here which Anderson is trying to direct him to, and he's looking up to get a pass here or over here. This could have been costly for us. Luckily for us, here we go. Pass, 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 pass. We want to see there's a mistake when he plays the ball forward. He takes a step back in order to hit the pass. And that is when the attacker pounced and was able to pick the ball off him. Look right here. Once he plays the ball forward, you see he takes a step up. That could have been very catastrophic for us. Now, look at the break. Great recognition by Blake and was able to get back. So we're gonna see it another time. We're on the replay. At this player, he's almost down. That's no recovery. Our center back right here, trying to recover. This player has a clear path to goal and opted to try and chip the goalkeeper. Maybe not sure of his breakaway speed. So those are mistakes that here's another chance to go inside and strike. Good receiving by Blake. King making a delivery. Nice touch, nice pass as well. And this is where it's going to be important for us to have trailer. That's going to be the important part of the upcoming game, where we can create scoring chances from the trailer right here coming in. Could have been a much better execution, but nonetheless, it presents itself. We were better at set pieces. We better at corner kicks, but our finishing wasn't as we would have liked to desire. And that's one of the changes Bobby Reid created inside the second half once he came in. Here we had another chance where they break down the line. Let's take a look right here because there's something I want to highlight. If we look again, break, these are what we're talking about. Try not to let the players get into these areas behind us, even though we have numbers. But the player taking a dribble here, this would have forced, I believe this is Latibo there, to sprint here, which would have then left the middle vulnerable. This player already have these two players beat, but he opted to take her early. Try to get him get the pass in front of the goal early, which nothing is wrong with that, but the better option. And Pinnock also recovered pretty well. So we had better speed recovery than they did. And this here, good. Bobby Reid giving them a taste of their own medicine. Giving them a taste of their own medicine. That was one of the offensive awareness change that Bobby Reid had brought to the game. You felt like we would have gotten a goal at some point once he came into the game. He was getting himself into the mix. Nice turn. Again, Bobby Reid quick to react. Would have liked to make a better strike on the ball, but nonetheless, he was the one that created the option for the defender to even defend the ball for Calamatira to get it back and then presents across. Excellent recovery by Mason Clark. This, I believe, was one of the reasons the coaching staff went with some of the selections. They were more mobile and was able to run the entire time, able to keep their legs the entire game. That was an excellent recovery because I did not recover that, it would have been a breakaway. But, but, Leon Bailey here, look what we have. This is poor. This is poor right here. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, he's responsible for him. Good. Right here. And because they are short passing team, it's one guy getting this one. So had Mason Clark not been aware, we can't afford these guys. We have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight guys on this side of the field. They have four. Young Webster has to be careful also because he shouldn't have been sucked in so far. Shouldn't have been sucked in so far. Should have been somewhere about here. So he could have been the one confronting. But good awareness by Mason Clark to recognize that there's a player on the outside and was able to track back. Excellent awareness. And to steal and create a foul. Leon Bill here. Okay, I want to good attempt by Bobby Clark. The end result of the play was good. Good in terms of we got a chance on goal, but not what we desired. But I want us to take a look at what happened right here, which we cannot afford. Okay, Leon Bailey gets the ball in the corner right here. He has a 1v1, fine. We should have a supporting player coming right here. So if the player traps him, he could have played the ball back. And subsequently, Leon Bailey dribbled inside this area into three more defenders. Still, no option. Who is presenting themselves into this visual spot right here? That's the visual spot. Now, is this understanding that he's a player that holds the ball longer than normal? Or is it that we are reluctant to give support because we are not sure that pass is going to be released? These are aspects that one of the things that we could clean up. See, there you go. Well, here. So, add our player right here. Come into the space. Leon Bailey could have not dribbled into that space, played the pass, and then break back to the outside, which would then give a free pass into Calamatiri or a cross into the mixer right here with the three players right here, which was the see, but this puts back everybody into position. So he comes from all the way here, dribble in here, come turn the ball, make the same pass. That pass should have been made. This pass should have been made out here for a reset. Though the end result is not perfect, but we got ahead again. Bobby Reed with his head on the ball again. This is just bad habit, right? Now, this ball is played, and at the time of the game, we are in the 81st minute. At the time of the game, the ball is played. You have a clear angle on the ball. This is king right here, right? Why slow up and not go for the ball quick and able to do something with the ball? You slow up and wait for pressure and contact, which we lost out. And here you go. See? Look. You know what this is? This could have been, look here, a straight pass into this area right here. Could have caused a penalty, could have caused a tap in, but the player again was unable to recover with and stayed with the ball. Bobby Reed again come back in. There you go. Good effort. And rightfully reprimanding him. Rightfully. Rightfully so. Rightfully. Here we go again. These are half chances. These are half chances that could have been costly. Again, this is in the 86th minute of the game. These are half chances. Ball drop right, a bad touch, but pressure. Again, Blake is well aware of the danger and is prepared should he not have a good touch or over touch the ball, he's able to make a play on the ball. There you have it. Safe hands. I believe this is low. Right here. A lot of body right here. Right? Now, the ball is coming from back here. He's responsible for him right here. He's responsible. He's responsible. So we have numbers. So there's no way we should have. Once the player lifts his head up, low should drop back. Can't afford that ball to go over the top. And that's one of the saves that Blake ended up making from another play towards the end of the game. They are still on the attack, poor delivery again, but nonetheless, now we have numbers back. They're recognizing that their chance of making it to the next phase of the playoff is very slim. Waiting on the referee to call the game. Goal scorer right here. And the game has been called. Game, goal, match. Don't forget, it's not the route you travel, but the final destination. We are one step away. Thanks for joining another episode of the Dean's Breakdown. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when another video is uploaded. Chat to me in the comment section.